Everybody is intrigued by cryptocurrencies right now, from Bitcoin, blockchain, NFTs, Dogecoin, and Ethereum. However, what do all of these do? What do they stand for? How do they operate? Why are they so popular nowadays? What are the negatives of these? In this video, we welcome you to a tutorial guide that explains all of these things. You'll go from crypto newbie to a crypto expert. Welcome to Cryptic, a channel that gives critical evaluation or analysis, especially in dealing with crypto. Everything regarding money, finance, investing, cryptocurrency, and blockchain-related topics including ICOs, NFTs, and yield farming.
You got crypto? Yeah!
To start it all, let's go back to the history of our currency and where it started. Before money was even invented, we used an exchange-basis system. When you want to obtain something from someone, it may go like, "Hey, I want that apple you have. I'll trade you my orange for it." On your end, it would be fine to list your orange. But what if the person you're talking to isn't interested in one? Due to these events, the creation of currency was born. Valuable materials like gold, silver, and bronze were made into coins. These coins were used to buy specific items that you want. You no longer need to trade away an item you possess. These coins also served as an insurance that the receiver can also use it for his own wants and needs. A trust between the buyer and seller was formed. Very handy, right? But as time went by, banks were established which were handled by our governments. The creation of paper money took place, which was more convenient and less costly to produce. A person no longer needs to carry stacks of valuable metals. A trust between the citizens and their government was established to make use of this paper money. The government grants a promise that a bearer of this is owed a certain amount, depending on the type and number of bills he owns. Fast forward more in time, technologies were upgraded and enhanced. We found and invented more efficient ways in storing and trading our money. Credit cards and even mobile wallets can be used to buy things online and in person. We no longer need to see or hold our money to use them. Banks just add a new entry on an individual's spreadsheet on his account. It can say that this individual has added more or deducted from his account. This brief history of our currency will help you understand how cryptocurrency currently stacks and how people view this as the most favorable type of exchange to this date. The common knowledge people know of cryptocurrency is that it is 100% virtual. Crypto is just a transfer of digital assets. Gold, paper money, or credit cards aren't used. The main idea of crypto is basically the same as the one in charge of updating spreadsheets on your bank account, tabulating who paid who and the amount. The main difference though, separated records are used by banks. Meanwhile, crypto just uses one humongous spreadsheet of each transaction done using that currency. This is known as a ledger. So what is all the hype and excitement about? There are clear-cut advantages seen in a currency system like these. First, it's decentralized. Each transaction of a given cryptocurrency is all documented on the same ledger. This ledger contains plenty of copies, and if you're part of this network, you will be in possession of one. You might be familiar with the term cryptocurrency mining or Bitcoin mining. It's simply when a computer is set up by someone to crunch through transactions of their own copy of a ledger or spreadsheet. Bitcoin is an example of a type of cryptocurrency, and there are already around billions of Bitcoin miners around the globe. Their main motivation for doing it, they can receive Bitcoin as compensation if they dedicate their computer's power to mining. Now this results in a situation like this. If I go to a store and purchase something using 8 Bitcoins, the store checks with each and every computer on this network to see if I'm sufficient enough for the spend. Unlike when using a bank with only their record. In case I am, each computer will give the go-ahead signal. After that, these computers' records will automatically update on their own. The idea of having an enormous number of copies of the same ledger helps when someone is trying to do suspicious acts. Let's say that a person's computer who is part of this network was hacked. They try to adjust the copy of the ledger owned by the person they're trying to hack. The system will recognize that 99.9% of other copies of the ledger have different data and a single one is the only difference. The hacking won't push through because of these, and that single different copy would be traced as a tampered one. People believe it because the system is very well organized. The future can be seen with open and traceable transactions compared to being supplied with only some info of the records. It may look complicated up to this point, but as we go along, I think you will realize that it's simpler than it seems. All you really need is an internet access for crypto, unlike traditional banks which require different types of documents and papers. It may be implied that the major benefit from crypto is that banks become dispensable. Since everything is stored by individuals in this ledger, international payments can be made almost instantaneously. No need to wait for half a day. Exchange rates, interest rates, spending limits, and even transaction fees are waived for some cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are termed that way because they are protected by cryptography. An example of this is blockchain, which is used by several major cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Blockchain is not a type of cryptocurrency. In simpler terms, blockchain is a secure kind of ledger, similar to the gigantic spreadsheet that everybody uses for navigating transactions. Blockchain is simply a way of sorting that spreadsheet into blocks, just like what its name implies. As a result, each time I buy something with the use of Bitcoin, it's recorded as a block. The transaction data is contained in each block. These data include who was paid and how much, and also a hash. This hash is a unique identifier. It also contains the hash of the preceding block in the series or the most recent transaction recorded. The way this system revolves, if something in a block changes, the hash of that block will change as well, since each block contains the previous block's contents. If the hash of the current block changes, the hash of the following block will no longer match. As a result, each consecutive block after this becomes invalid. When you combine this with what we discussed earlier, you get a million distinct users with their own sample of the blockchain ledger. Let's say I wanted to hack a transaction that will pay me money. I'd have to tamper not just one block, but every single block after that. I would also have to do that on at least 500,000 computers all around the world to ensure that the majority of the system's computers are likewise consistent with the one I messed with. That would be very unlikely to happen. Rather than simply hacking into someone's online bank account and sending myself money, that does occur, and it's as easy as guessing someone's 6-digit PIN number. A huge difference between the two. You can probably see why some individuals are enthusiastic about them. This leads me to the topic of investments. You've most likely heard of people investing in cryptocurrencies. All this means is that they're swapping traditional currencies such as dollars for digital currencies such as Bitcoin. They're betting that those cryptocurrencies will be the next big thing, causing their value to skyrocket. They can either spend them or exchange them for more money than they paid for.
Gonna be a very rich man.
However, at this point, the only decision that needs to be made is which cryptocurrency to use. We've already discussed Bitcoin, but it's just one of over thousands of other cryptos, and everyone has their own unique traits. Take for example Ethereum, which is the second most funded cryptocurrency. It is capable of processing transactions even faster than Bitcoin. There's also Litecoin, which uses a more advanced algorithm. Cardano is also one such cryptocurrency that is thought to be technologically superior. Before we proceed, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a like, click that bell button to be notified of our new videos, and subscribe to the channel, Cryptic. Now back to the video. Cryptocurrencies have their own drawbacks and concerns. This takes me to the issues at hand. One of the key aspects of its dark side is its volatility. The volatility of crypto is why I believe many people aren't taking it seriously. Since these currencies are so new and are entirely digital, as opposed to, for example, the silver market, no one really knows how much they're worth. As a result, you'll notice that crypto prices are highly speculative. They're inextricably related to the news cycle, such as when a glowing article about them is published, prices skyrocket. However, when a popular personality like Elon Musk tweets something negative about them, they plummet. The second issue is the fact that they are not widely accepted as a form of payment. You can book vacations using cryptocurrency. You can even buy tickets for live events using cryptocurrency as well. However, There have been a lot of companies that have been on the fence about it. Microsoft, PayPal, and even Starbucks are among the top companies against it. These businesses have stated that they will accept Bitcoin in the past. They later backtracked and stated that they will no longer accept Bitcoin. The third issue to consider is whether or not they are an environmental concern. The entire reason why many of these cryptos are so secure is due to the principle that these transactions are double-checked by a large number of computers. It's a reasonable criticism to say that its own inefficiency is caused by itself. A large amount of processing power needs a large amount of electricity. However, you may counter this by claiming that traditional banking is still viable for such. More electricity is consumed. There are also more efficient modern coins nowadays with greater technology, and in the future, we may be able to receive that electricity from renewable resources. The fourth concern is that there's a strong belief that this is the ideal currency for criminals because crypto has no real enforcements or regulations at this moment. However, I believe the statistics on that one speaks for itself. According to chain analysis, 0.34% of all cryptocurrency transactions are illegal. Meanwhile, up to 5% of routine cash transactions are fraudulent. It's due to the misunderstanding that currencies like Bitcoin are anonymous. They are pseudonymous, which means that your public key, which is your unique identity, is exposed to everyone even if your actual details aren't. When you use the blockchain to make a transaction, you'll be permanently inserted into it. As a result, cash is just a superior currency for the majority of illegal activities since its nature is untraceable. And this concludes our video explaining all about cryptocurrency. Forward this video to any friends or family members who might find it useful. Until next time.